What's going on, guys? Welcome to Beyond the Break. Our first episode, I want to go ahead and just do a huge shout out to my friend who decided to be the first victim of this show series. So, I want to introduce everybody to BR7. What's up, man?
Yes, sir. How's everybody doing? I hope everybody's doing well. I'm glad to be here. Glad to be the first one, and I'm sure this is gonna be a great project to be part of.
Well, I appreciate that. And I'm very thankful that you hopped on and was my first victim. So, everything that we're going to go on here is a great learning experience and that we can just grow from it. And hopefully, you'll be in future episodes. So, I look forward to this.
100%. You can count on me.
That's what I'm talking about. So, let me go ahead and just start with the introduction. BR7, he's just brand new in the community, but a lot of people have been getting a lot of views on him and whatnot. He's been pulling some pretty good heat on Futera, but I want him to kind of give himself a little bit of a bio of what he does. So, take it away.
So, I used to be a streamer back in the days. I mean, I say back in the days like it's a long time, but
Right.
4 years ago, 4 years ago, I just, after COVID, I just had a lot of free time. Seeing a lot of people, during COVID got into streaming. I know I was good at the game at then, so I was like, you know what? Let's just play a game. The only difference is gonna be a camera on my face talking to people. It was during that transition coming back to normal life after COVID.
Right.
So I started streaming FIFA. Everything was good. I was able to build a small community. I never took it as a like serious thing to do. I was just started as a fun thing to do. But as my community kept growing and growing, I started like streaming more and just dedicating more time to it. But I never ever was able to pursue that as something full time.
Right. Did
And
you
then go
with
ahead, sorry.
No, you're good. No, you're good. So with streaming, did you was there a particular game that you love to play the most, or
Yeah, I
besides
mean FIFA
FIFA?
was the that's the only thing I used to play. Like played the game since I was like 11 years old, so I'm really familiar, and that's the only team I would play back then. Now, like I met more people and more friends, I play a little bit of other games, but FIFA's still my main thing. The reason why is because I love the sport so much, so it's like I couldn't play it. I mean, it's hard for me to play it. I'm not like I don't not because I don't want to. It's just the time. We all as we get old, our body doesn't respond the same. Excuses, excuses.
That is so true.
But that is the way for me to like at least enjoy the sport.
I can totally relate when you make that comment about getting older and our body doesn't want to do more and more of what we want to.
Yeah,
I grew up playing soccer, baseball, football, did sand volleyball and softball, but soccer was mostly the sport that I played just the majority in. I played through high school. I had a full ride scholarship on it, and the day that I was supposed to sign for it, I snapped my leg in half and snapped my ACL, my MCL, and cracked my femur, and it was game over from there.
damn, unlucky, man, unlucky.
It
That is
really
not
was.
something.
But I can say
Damn,
that for
that is
me personally, that because of that, I mean, and this is my own view, that everything happens for a reason. And when that
that's
happened,
right.
yeah, I was down in the dumps about it. But at the same time, I was able to start coaching and doing training and keeper training and stuff like that. So it allowed me to pass on what I was never able to do. And I found out, like, out of the three kids that I've coached, out of like 30 or 40, three of them had full
Mhm.
rides, and one of them got to play overseas, and it was a pretty cool experience to know that.
Yeah, definitely. That sounds like, I mean, like I said, I mean, sometimes, um, making other people dreams come true brings some sort of, happiness to you as well because you were part of that.
Yep.
You kind of in a way, how do you say that? You put your part into it. You made it happen in a way for him as well.
Right. Exactly. So that's a little bit about us and everything. And I know with Beyond the Break, I have pretty much a cool little theme. So we'll have some segments. The first segment that we're going to be jumping is called the fill. Then we'll go into the break room, and then hopefully you have a PC card that I told you to flex and everything. And then game time. It's where we have some fun and some games that I made up to see how quick on your feet you are with your knowledge of the game and sport. So first things
Yes,
first.
sir.
Today is the fourth, and Colombia played, and I'm just gonna go ahead and throw it out there that we qualified for the World Cup. So it is a happy, happy,
Yeah,
happy day
congrats.
for me.
Congrats, yeah. I mean, even for me, I support Colombia. Like I said, I grew up with Colombians. I have friends that are from Colombia, so I couldn't wear my Colombia jersey today, but it's there.
I was going to and everything, and then I last minute the kids got me all dirtied up and everything. And I was like, dang it, I'm not gonna wear a dirty shirt tonight if I'm doing this on camera. So.
Yeah, no, definitely.
But my kids know how crazy I can get when oh man, if you watched any of the clips or anything from today's game, the first goal from James was just dirty. It was a nasty goal. It was so quick too, and up in the front post, and I was just screaming, running around the living room, and my 2-year-old was chasing me doing the exact same thing.
No, no, I couldn't. I haven't watched the highlights because I mean, there's been so many games on. So, I've been doing things and watching games here and there. So I was watching Brazil, or a little bit of Argentina game, and that's pretty much it. I mean, and then I was watching Guatemala. Disappointed. I'm from
Yeah.
Guatemala, so we don't really hope for much. But recent years, I mean, not recent years, this year we've been playing pretty good. You
Guatemala has
know,
been playing
we
pretty good. I've been watching some of the games, and they have some prospecting players that look like they have a good future.
as soon as I saw the game today, I was like, no, we're playing so. I've never seen them play this bad. So it was
That
so bad.
sucks.
I knew we were gonna lose. So this is that. Honestly, I don't think we're qualifying anymore. That was the worst team in the group. Put it like that,
Oh,
and we lost at home.
that sucks. I was so nervous. I know we had today, and then we have another game lined up, and all I can think of is, okay, they gotta win this, and then if Venezuela loses,
Yeah,
that's it. We're good. We're clutch. Nothing to stress about.
yeah,
Nothing to
that was a
worry.
game.
Like just
That was a game
processing
to
all
close it
that.
up.
Yes, that was the
Hundred
best way to
percent.
finish it. And I love the new tactic that they did. I mean, they finally put James back at the right, and they pushed. They kept Luis in the left side, and then pushed him back, and then they let Quintero play in the front, and it was a different system, but it worked really good. Seeing James back on the right side made me. It brought me back to Real Madrid days and Bayern
Yeah,
days.
that's good.
It was so cool to see that because he just fits that role so much better in my opinion. But
Yeah, 100%.
let's go into the fill. So I have some questions for you, and I wanted to get your perspective of what you thought about this. So first things first, we all know it's probably not going to happen, but it's a good topic to bring up. Is when prospecting rookies, especially in this year's chase for our cards, is Rodrigo Mora, right?
Hmm.
And there was rumor and speculation that he was going to go to Saudi. So, from your view and your opinion and your perspective, what do you think that impacts in the hobby?
So I'm pretty new to the hobby, so my take would probably won't be the same as anybody else's take because, like I said, I've been doing this for a little bit, a month and a week now. So I don't know, like in deep how the market works, but I would assume that it's pretty obvious that if a player is doing good, you know, even if it's a rookie, I guess when people see as a rookie, they don't see the right now. They see the future ahead of him. So if Rodrigo Mora would have make that move to Saudi, I think the market would have dropped a lot because people would have think, okay, that's it, that's his career's over. He's going to Saudi. He left Europe.
Chase of money.
Everybody sees football. It's only in Europe, which is understandable. That's where the competition is. That's where you play the Champions League. But also, there's people that haven't peaked their career after 24, 25 years old. We're talking about a kid who's 18 years old.
Right.
90% of us at 18-year-old, we're in school, doing whatever, not even thinking about being the best in the world. Maybe
Right.
dreaming of it, but not actually being able to accomplish it. You know what I mean? So it's like I feel like Lamine Yamal has made a big impact on that. as him being so good at the age he is, everybody expects everybody to peak at that time. But that's not the case. If we look at most footballers, they don't peak until they're like after their 20s, 22s, you
Right, they
know.
get that little bit more of the experience under their belt.
Yeah, so I think that it depends like as well. It depends on the player itself. Like for me, um I think it has a lot to do with their mentality. If they're consistent with their hard work and stuff, that they're gonna keep a level because they could be good for a year. I'm not saying Lamine Yamal is gonna be good for a year, but he was good last year. But can he keep that momentum for 6, 5, 10 years like Messi and Cristiano did?
Especially on the body, because obviously the
You know,
body wears down, like we talked about earlier.
especially Neymar. Neymar is the best example of these.
Neymar is a
Neymar could have
prime
been the best
example.
player and like to compete with Cristiano and Messi if he would have taken football serious. I felt like the move to Paris was a bad move, but at the same time, it was the best thing to do if you wanted to become number one.
Yeah, he
You
had to
can't be
invest.
number one. You can't be number one behind a number one.
Right.
You know. So I mean, like I said, I jumped out of the topic, but with rookies, I just feel like the market is just gonna be like this from my perspective. He plays good for 1 month, everybody's gonna hype him up. He plays bad for 3 months, the market's gonna go down.
Right.
So I think it's just gonna be bouncing around.
I think something that could be a little bit more relatable, especially since you played FIFA so much. Obviously, that players have rankings and their levels on how good they are and stuff. And if you remember the days of Ansu Fati, that kid was
Yeah,
supposed to be the prodigy too, if you remember. And his marketing cards were, I wouldn't say Lamine Yamal level high, but they were pretty well inflated. They were high. They were up there. But as the years
that's what I
progress
hear.
and the teams he's been passed around through, his market completely just took a dip and everything. Not saying he's a horrible player, but he's not what he was destined to be. If that makes
You know what
sense.
I also feel like I said, I'm not like a professional in the hobby or have the knowledge like other people do, but I feel like everybody looks for that one play. The market has to stay alive.
Right.
Messi and Ronaldo will always be there, and they don't sign as often as they did before. They are not the football image right now, in a way. So I feel like the market looks for that one player to completely just hyped up to rise their value.
Right. But another
To
thing is when it
I,
comes to that is that obviously in the soccer community we know a lot more about what players are good, what players have value, what players just are just dog doo doo. But there's another level when it comes to that, and that's when you break out of the soccer hobby market and you go into like the multi-sport hobbyists where you see like in card shows and stuff that you can see a table of guy that has nothing but football, baseball, and basketball, and then you'll find a Messi or Ronaldo because they know their market's so high that it'll never dip or drop. They don't do
but
the prospecting or anything. That's that they're more into the baseball side of the world with
let's
prospecting.
be honest. We put the numbers.
Oh yeah, for
A car
sure.
is worth as much as you're willing to pay for it. So at the end of the day, I feel like the value of the car is created by hype.
That
If
I
we
can
all
agree with.
just make a just for example, let's say you're a big creator, right? You have millions of followers, and then you pick up just one random player to just completely have your whole community hyped up. What do you think is gonna happen?
Like
Its
everybody in
numbers
the
are gonna.
community, yeah, everybody in the community wants to follow that person. That
And the reason why I say that because this happens often in the FIFA community. There's streamers that call themselves traders, right? That
mm-hmm.
they have knowledge on trading and blah blah blah. So they pick these random player and be like, hey, he's gonna skyrocket his price because he's getting a special car or blah blah blah. So he's gonna be out of packs. Boom. Everybody starts buying that car. What happens? The cars go going up on price.
They keep
So I
going
feel
up
like
and up.
there's a little bit of manipulating on the pricing here. I feel like not as much, but I feel like everything is created by hype, and the prices are all created by hype. Because at
Yes,
the end of the day, it's a risk. Like I said, putting money on rookies is a huge risk that could pay off.
it's
or it can literally just come to you.
To me, it's a little bit similar to playing the stock market. I don't know how if you ever done that or anything, but obviously, I have.
I'm not very familiar with it, but here and there.
So with stock markets, obviously, you want at a young age. I would always recommend you go high risk, high reward. So a little bit on the volatility side. So if you're trying to gain that profit margin, then you would want to buy into high risk products because then when those high risk gets rewarded, they're at high reward potential and you get a bigger profit. Or when you get older, like I'm getting there and stuff, then you want to shift it to
Yeah,
where it's low risk and everything like that. It's similar in the card world. So you play the rookie game, and the people who got lucky. Think of it this way: all these people that had all these Lamine Mall cards when he was first brought into the product, his cards were probably averaging anywhere from $5 about $40. You look at those same cars, they about quadrupled. So if you held on to those cars and didn't sell them because you just needed to sell them, then obviously you just played the high risk, high reward side of it. You just gained a
right.
huge
Yeah,
profit margin from those cars, especially the people who are having the numbered ones and the parallels and had them graded, they're hitting tens, and they're like quadrupled in profit. I, I, I can remember when I first started and everything, I had probably about 6 or 7 of the silver rookies, and I was one of those. I was like, oh yeah, if you want it, here, take it. I was just being nice,
yeah,
and I gave away some of them and sold a couple. Luckily, I kept the one I had that was numbered out of 75, and it got a 10. So I've been holding on to that one, and I got probably a couple others that are pretty good. And
I mean, at
I'm
the end of
probably
the day,
positioning it.
it's all a gamble. At the end of the day, you're gambling of something that we have no control of. For anything we know, God forbids. I mean, we don't wish this to anybody, but he can get an injury like Ansu Fati. That's what happened to him. He got an injury that he was never able to come back off of, and this
Exactly.
happens to a lot of people. So at the end of the day, I feel like all that it's like betting on young players, buying cars of young players, rookies or young players. It's all a gamble because they're not gonna maintain their price like players like Cristiano, Messi, Maradona, Pele, Henry, Zidane.
Pretty much
They're
everybody
not
has
playing
established a
anymore.
career.
Yeah, they're not playing anymore. So their price is gonna either go up because it's rare or maintain themselves. Rarely their price are gonna go down because they already are what they are. You know what I mean?
Right. Exactly. And that's that's why it's kind of been making me start thinking about how I've been wanting to shift my. Obviously, I keep a strong PC of my favorite cards just because I love them as all Colombia cards. But like my other
Yeah,
cards and stuff, I really now I don't buy crazy amount anymore and stuff. I now pretty much figure I was like, okay, this guy established a career. That means his market's gonna be pretty steady unless he does something really stupid outside, and then that
yeah,
causes the dip. But like I want to chase an R9 auto. I want to get a cool Cristiano card. I want to get, I got a cool for Tati auto, which I'll never sell because that's one of the coolest autos I ever hit. And the same with Musiala. I think
yeah.
that kid's gonna establish something even though he got a big injury.
But that's a good point because Musiala's market was high,
It's very high.
but
He took a huge
the
hit.
injury made his market take a dip.
When he comes back and everything, that's when you're gonna find out, is he back to his usual normal self, or is he now pulling
Uh,
another injury prone incident where it's going to cause the market to crash on him.
yeah, that's why right now, honestly, I'm just focusing on enjoying the moment. I'm not really like putting my risk on this on that. I'm just doing this for I wouldn't say for fun, but it is as for me. I don't see it as a I mean, I see it as a hobby because I do breaks and stuff, but I don't do these to become profitable out of it.
Right.
Like I have my own job that I make my money off of. I have a life apart from all this. This is just something that I tried and I enjoyed doing it, and that's why I'm still doing it.
It's the same case with me. For me, I mean, yeah, I got some cars that has some good asset to it and everything, but I've never actually jumped into this hobby because I wanted
Yeah,
to think I'm going to become the one percenter making millions of dollars like you see on
yeah,
Instagram or YouTube, those type of
yeah,
people. To me, it's
yeah.
something that
That's
I
the way.
personally enjoy.
So that's what I'm saying. Like I don't even like when I like a card, I look at the value for me to buy it because I don't want to obviously overpay for something that's not worth what I'm paying for. But most of the time, I don't buy something and say, okay, I'm gonna finesse this guy because he doesn't know the value of this card, and I'm gonna sell it for three times more. I feel like there's a lot
Right.
of that
Same.
in the industry. Yeah, I feel like there's a lot of that in the industry where people just trying to look for that, you know, person that doesn't know what they have and just take it off of them and make money out of it. And
Yeah.
it's respectable. I mean, some people do this as for a living, and
Yeah.
I respect it. But
Yeah.
me,
You
I
gotta
just do it
hustle
for fun.
somewhere.
I'm not. Yeah, I just do it for fun. Just enjoy. You know, like I said, breaking, selling whatever I have that I don't want, just to keep the same money flowing, you know, because I'm sure a lot of people can relate. This is not a cheap hobby, you know,
It's
whether
definitely
it's for
not.
fun, whether it's for fun or it's for business. You have to put a lot in before you start seeing money come back to you.
Right, and I know from my perspective and everything, it was like the transition to where I was at the beginning of the hobby to where I am now. When I was a kid, I collected a crap ton of sports cards. I mean, it was during the wax era, so it wasn't crazy expensive. I had boxes galore of baseball cards and basketball cards and football cards. It wasn't really popular soccer cards. It was the hardest thing to ever find in stores, so never had the
Yeah,
opportunity for it. And then I pulled away from the hobby and got married, had kids. And one day my daughter just started talking about Pokemon, and I remember like, oh yeah, I used to collect that. And she's like, what do the cards look like? So I literally took her to the store, and it seems to be the normal pattern too. Took her to the store, bought her a couple packs. We went home, and first thing I was like, whoa, these cards don't look anything like I can remember when I was a kid. And two was she pulled this crazy card, and I was like, is that good? And I looked it up, and it was like $100 card, and I'm like, holy crap! So then what happened? The next day, we went and bought more packs.
yeah. I mean, I could relate to that because the way I got into this is I got a signed jersey from a few players from Madrid when I went to see their play against PSG on the semifinal, and then I just wanted to look of what that was worth. You know, just I wanted to keep it, but I just wanted to have an idea of what something like that was worth, and a lot of cars popped out when I searched that, and then I saw that there's cars of players signed, and that's what I dig into it, and then. I went to buy a few. I think I bought like three boxes of my locker sports card, and I pulled Kaka auto, and then I pulled Musiala out of 25, and I'm like, okay. And then I looked up
Exactly.
the prices. I'm like, so you telling me that I can just buy boxes, and if I get lucky, I can make money of it? Why not? And that was the worst lesson I had to learn of myself. I bought another three boxes, pulled nothing,
That is
and then
exactly right. Because
and
when
then
we
it
went
just
from
kept going
Pokemon,
and
we
going.
transitioned to basketball because my daughter started playing basketball, and the same thing. We bought a blaster box. I was like, let's see what the new basketball cards look like. She pulled a Wemby,
Yeah,
which was the rookie that you're chasing and everything. I'm a huge Spurs fan, so and I know Wemby's a once in a lifetime generation too, and in my
yeah.
perspective, and it was his market was already crazy high, and I never knew about it. So when the guy at the store told me, he was like, "Hey, I'll give you $75 for that card right now," and I'm like, I want to look it up first and realize that it's actually like 125 because he already knew that. I was like, oh, this guy doesn't know much about the hobby. Let's see if I can get this card cheap for a flip. And I was like, oh, I'm gonna take two more boxes. Skunked them both boxes. I was like, oh crap, broke even.
That's what happened to me. And then um the way I got into Wanda is a friend of mine, which you know, Chino.
Yeah,
He was telling me that he was just flipping labubus for fun. He was buying them and whatnot and just reselling them. So I was like, if they're doing that and whatnot, I'm sure they have something to do with cards. So I downloaded it and I looked up sport cards, and then I see a bunch of people doing breaks, and I didn't know nothing about it.
yeah,
I just went in, and then the thing about me is I research everything. Like once I get into something, I get obsessed with knowing everything about it. So I made my research about all these cards, sports cards, hobby, how everything worked. after I already had spent money, because obviously I was like, okay, I'm like $4,000 in. What am I doing?
I
You
can't
know,
tell you
what
how
am
much
I
I like
chasing?
this. If I
Yeah,
were to
what am
tell
I
you how
chasing? What am
much.
I doing? Yeah, but it look, I mean, I was 4,000 in like the first 2 weeks.
Oh,
Like the first 2 weeks, I was like $4,000 in. Like I maxed out one of my credit cards for that,
I
and I
it
was like,
wasn't
okay.
like that bad.
I mean, the reason is like you can kind of say I was playing catch with everybody.
Yeah, you're trying to
People that
catch
been
up.
collecting for years, and I'm like, I don't even have 5 cards to my name. So I'm like, but I didn't know at that time, so I was just I was doing it wrong. I was buying out like these boxes that were super expensive. My Obviously every local shop is gonna try to make their money. Just sell to whatever people that don't know the pricing. And so when I got to one, I started doing breaks. And my first break, I hit a Rodrigo Mora auto. I hit out of 75 a skill set Rodrigo for like $9. Like, okay, instead of spending $400, $500 on a box, I'm just gonna go in a break, spend $30 to $50 and try to snatch something. And
Right.
that's when my friend, he went into the next break that I told him to go into, and he got Madrid for $9, and he pulls out of five arrivals auto Hendrick,
Which is a huge card.
which we were like, okay, it's Hendrick, his market's hype. We know nothing of. We didn't know what we were getting ourselves into. It we saw it, and I'm like, sell it to me. I'm like, I'm not a Madrid fan. I want to collect Hendrick. He's a rookie this year, and he sold it to me. And we both agreed, because I told him it was for my PC, and we both agreed that if I ever sell the card, if I make a lot of money, that I was gonna give him part of that money, because we didn't know that was our first time pulling something like that, you
Right.
know. So he sold it to me, and then I look at it, and I started looking it up, and I'm like, dude, we might have a card that's worth $3,000 to $5,000,
Once it hits the
because
four figures.
yeah, like the last one that sold, like it was like out of five regular, it wasn't even auto, sold for $2,000.
Jeez.
So I was like, I'm gonna grade that. I mean, I want it for my PC. I don't want to sell it, but I told him if somebody comes to me with the right number, I'm not gonna say no. But like that was our first, I say us because we both were doing it together at that time,
Right.
and we do. He doesn't really collect much, but he just helps me here and there to do breaks and stuff like that. But that
Right.
was like something we went in together.
Yeah, and see that's what's cool and you kind of pretty much jumped into the next segment, the break room, because that's what I was going to ask you is like what really brought you into the hobby and you kind of filled that part up, and it's
Yeah,
pretty cool because of how the community works, and I would say that compared to the different communities that I personally have been in, and this is just a matter of opinion, so take it with a grain of salt, but I would say the soccer community for me has been the best community because you get more respect from everybody else. Like, yeah, you might have your onesie twosie people that are just arrogant and rude and stuff like that, but the majority of the people that I have dealt with, and I could name them like Whip, Evo, a couple of these people that are going to be up in the coming shows, you get a relationship with these people and you end up becoming really big
yeah,
friends with them, and they know more about you. So if you pull like for example a huge Hamas card, you would know off the bat who you would want to sell it to, right? You would make
yeah.
more money, but if I were to say, hey, I really want that, but I can't afford that, you would know I'm not going to be going behind your back and flipping it for more money. Like
Correct. Yeah,
you learn that person more about like, oh yeah,
yeah.
yeah, he won't flip that, or no, I'm not going to budget that low because he's going to flip it. I'm going to stick to the go to saying 80% comps.
Yeah, exactly. So for me, it was good. People the first day I went live, I mean DJ Freddy was one of the first guys that joined my stream and try to help me and explain how everything worked, because I just went in there I was just hoping to chat. Maybe one person's gonna come ask for a card. I saw a lot of cards on my first stream that I didn't even think of. I didn't have nothing. I didn't have packaging. I didn't have. I didn't know how to do labels. I just went live, just raw. I
Dang.
just like I was like, I didn't think that I was gonna sell. I was the new guy that nobody knows him. Why is he gonna? Why am I gonna buy off of him? That's the way. Because I come from a very toxic community, which is the FIFA community. That's why when you say soccer, I was gonna be like soccer cards probably, because when it comes to like FIFA community is one of the most toxic community out there. Is because
Uh,
it's so competitive. Of course, it is competitive on its own, but at
yeah.
the end of the day, we are all gambling our money. You're not taking advantage of nobody. Most of the people, everybody's doing it at their own risk. So if I don't win, at least I want you to win. Or somebody's gonna win. But
I'm
when it comes
glad
to
you brought that
FIFA,
up. Yep.
it's very much different because everybody's competing to be the best.
Right. And I'm
So
glad you
there's
brought
so
that
much
up.
toxicity. Yeah.
This is true. Like if you were to bid on a card and you end up losing it on a break, and then you see that spot hit crazy big, yeah, you want to kick yourself in the shin. But the first thing I always see on response is like, "Way to go, good job, awesome hit." The community is very uplifting when it comes to it.
Yeah, I
Versus
mean,
when
I
I
feel
was
it's
in a
because at the
football
end,
break, it's the total opposite.
I mean, maybe because football is bigger here. I would say football is a huge thing in America, and I mean, it's just a different community itself. I personally don't know nothing about football, so I can't really comment on it. But yeah, I mean, people received me with open hands, and then MK was another person that offered to help. Steph is the one person that really helped me like get to know more about cards and stuff because
Steps is a good
if I
person.
had a question, I would always ask him, and I'm always on his streams because I feel like he's one of the most genuine persons out there, that's obviously doing it, doing breaks and stuff. But at the end of the day, he always tries to, make sure that everybody that buys in gets something out of it.
Steps is a very good guy. I've been in a handful of times just hanging out in his room and stuff, and you can just see the genuineness of him. And that actually brings up two more questions that I have for you for the break room segment.
Hmm.
And one of
Okay.
them is, what's your favorite product to rip as a breaker? Uh, the Futera. To me, I love Futera, and I think it's so. I wish I had more respect in the community because the whole unlicensed thing. But Futera actually has game worn product, on card signatures. It brings a lot of good stuff to you, especially with the legend players.
So the thing about me is that I always try to be different. I don't want to follow everybody's path. I try to stay. Obviously, a lot of people do Futera, a lot of people do this, do that. But I try to just do something that different. So I feel like Futera, it's not a product that a lot of people are chasing. I feel like there's obviously a lot of people, but not as much as Panini, Tots, and stuff like that. So that's why I kind of been doing more Futera breaks because I feel like it doesn't get the love that it deserves, in my
Right,
opinion.
right. So then let me here's another question I got for you. So we
Hmm.
talk about Stebs, we talked about MK, both very huge in the community of whatnot and everything. Would you say that whatnot has kind of created a celebrity type, like what would you call, like an influencer that you would see on Instagram or stuff like that? Like, do you think they created like a tier level of these people where like everybody's like, oh my gosh, I'm friends with Stebs, like, can you believe that type of thing?
I feel like in a way, yes, especially like inside the sports car community, they make a name for themselves.
Right,
Because when we look at like influencers and Instagram, it's more like they're basically letting you know everything about their lives. So I feel like in inside the community, if you ask most people about stuff, they probably will know him. Same with MK. So they make a name for themselves in the community. I don't know how much they do off the sports art community. So I wouldn't be able to tell you if they like do streams outside besides whatnot and stuff like that. But inside the sports community, definitely, I feel like they make themselves known.
Right. And I
Yeah, and I
have to
say that
agree with
because
that.
like me, the people that know me from FIFA don't know me from whatnot. So it's
Right.
like a two
It's
different
the
things for
community
me.
of itself. Like
Yeah.
you've
So it's like
established that you're
every.
up here in the community and people like when I look, I log on to Instagram after the soccer card show that was up there in Chicago, and I'd see
Hmm.
people that are like taking pictures with like Dapper or A Dot, people like that, and they're like, oh, I got to meet him today and stuff like that, and it always made me think like, it kind of established like a little bit of a celebrity type vibe our community where these people
In
are
a
such
way.
huge streamers and stuff, and you're like, yeah, I got to hang out and talk to this guy and stuff like that. It's like it's building its own little world out of it, if that makes
But
sense.
that's what I'm saying. Like I feel like every sort of community has these people. Like for example, we talked about MK and stuff in the sports community, or even J Pass. J Pass, I don't know if you know him, but
Yeah,
that's
I've been in a
another
couple
guy
of his
that I
shows.
yeah, I buy up for him stuff, and he's a great guy too. And I feel like he's pretty known as well. I feel like when it comes to like that, they're definitely in that celebrity. I wouldn't say celebrity, but I would say like they're huge
They've established a name
streamers.
for themselves.
Exactly.
It's
So
like
when
if you
and
jump in a
and
room with somebody and you see, if you I don't know if you ever heard of this one,
oh no,
Bash, but Bash has like the most
it's lagging a little bit.
insane.
You're
It's probably on your
what
end
up?
because it still looks clear on mine.
Okay, yeah, we're good. Sorry.
But no, you good. But Bash, I don't know if you follow him on Instagram, but that guy has the most absolute insane collection. I think I've like grails on grails on grails. Like it is, and the way that he displays them and everything is like cinema. And whenever
Yeah.
I see him jump in the room, it's like everybody's calling him out. It's like, what's up, legend, goat, stuff like that. Like it really happens. Like and I'm not saying I'm at that level or anything, but it's kind of a cool feeling when I've jumped in a couple rooms and stuff, and I get greeted and stuff and called out. It's always a cool feeling.
Oh, 100%. That's what I'm saying. Like everybody, like you have to make a name of yourself in the community, because everything like there's celebrities are celebrities in the like FIFA streamers. There's names that are big in the FIFA streamer, but are not big in like the whole streaming industry. So if there, I feel like there's um community for everything that's out there, and there's levels to it.
Right. And I'm glad you were my first, honestly, on this show because of several reasons. I mean, you've got to experience both sides of the world where you've already established a name in the FIFA community and built up such a huge following, which I will make sure to plug in all your handles after this video is uploaded and stuff, so that way you
I
get more
wouldn't say
followers.
huge, but we did our grinding.
But that's the key word right there: the grinding, grinding,
Yeah,
grinding.
like I
That's
said,
what.
I just never took it serious. I feel like when you want something in life, you gotta take it serious, and I've learned that, the hard way. Because I've been on my own since 18, so I've been hustling, from everywhere, from ground
Right,
to whatever I have right now. So, um, and I that's one of the reasons that was never able to take streaming serious, because I always had a job to focus on. Either I make money off my job, or I pursue streaming, and it could go both ways. But it's a hard choice, when you have, because I didn't have I didn't have my parents. I didn't live with them, so it's like I have to do everything on my own. I have to provide my rent and this and that. So I
right,
didn't have support to be able to say, okay, I'm mom and dad. Give me a year, and I'm gonna just put all my time into streaming. And if I make it, I make it. If I don't, I still have food on the table. That wasn't the case for me.
right. You had that hunger and the passion to make sure you had a better lifestyle, and that's something that's really
And
respectable in any type of community in world life events, whatever. The hunger and passion is what drives people the most in anything. And I
if
would say
I'm
to
lagging,
anybody
or
listening, no, you're good.
what up, I was lagging. I was lagging a little bit. Sorry.
Oh no, you're good. Don't worry. just keep rolling with the punches. But no, and I would say that's all the same because you went from that community to brand new community where you're doing the grind all over again because you've been through that scenario, and that's why I
Yeah,
thought it was the best
I basically
opportunity.
started from zero.
Right,
I'm starting from zero right now as well, but I would say that this is a much bigger grind than what I was because in the FIFA committee I depended on me, on my skills and on my time. On these, it really depends on having good people to buy off of because the market is so high on boxes. So that makes it a lot difficult to compete with other people's prices because a box that I get for 150, $170, they get it for $100,
right,
so they're able to give people better deals, and obviously people are gonna follow that because you're gonna go for the person that's charging you less regardless, you know.
exactly. That
So
is
that's the
true.
hardest part. That is the hardest part that I'm finding out is to be able to provide them with breaks and stuff like that because prices are just inflated, and if you don't have a plug where you can buy off of, then you're pretty much breaking even.
Right, and before I hit this next segment of ours, I'm going to finish it off by saying this segment that I heard some really good words of wisdom when I used to talk to Dad, uh, kicking it with Dad.
Hmm.
Super amazing guy, awesome streamer, met a lot of super cool people through his little world. And one thing he always told me and stuff is like, like what you said, everybody gets stuff at different prices, and it's
Yeah.
going to be hard because you have a lot of people who are going to try to negotiate those prices to drop it down. And I mean, and he says it's like rightfully so. You're trying to save money, but then you have to also say it this way: how's the experience that you're getting from your show? Like for him, for example,
Yeah.
he makes sure he provides you with a good show. He makes sure he provides you with good quality, better packaging, all the supplies, everything, because all that things add up, and that's what I think a lot of the new people coming onto whatnot and stuff don't realize is that as a breaker, I mean, I've already experienced it, and you've been in my shows with my daughter. I let her work her little butt off because she wants to learn how to grind and do something. So I
Yeah.
supply her with the the cases, and I show her like, this is how much this case is. This is how much your supplies are, packaging, printing, all this stuff. So you got to make sure you fix those numbers to where it covers that, and you gain just a little bit of profit. You don't have to make $1 million off of a break, but a little profit goes a long way.
If I'm being honest with you, from all the breaks I've done, I haven't done much. I've done like probably 4 or 5 breaks. The most money I've made on a break was probably $80.
Yeah,
And
that's
that's
not
not
bad.
even including packaging. That's not even including packages, subloads, sleeves, and all that stuff. So realistically, I probably made $50. That's the most I've ever made off of a break because, like I said, at the moment I'm just because I can't, like I said, I know what it's like to start from zero. You don't start making money. You have to make you have to build the community. You have to build trust with the people, and you have to provide with good content. Like you said, if you come in a stream and everybody's having a good time, even if somebody else is charging less, they're gonna want to be with you because you're giving them the entertainment that they're looking for.
Right.
They're not
Exactly.
just buying off of you; they're being entertained off of you.
But if you start a show and you're being greedy off the bat and not wanting to work with your people and building your own community
Yeah,
and consumers, then you're not gonna go far. And I would say that anybody who wants to do it realize that you got to be smart about your investment still, and don't go
yeah,
like buying the most expensive stuff when you only have about 12 followers. It will end so badly. But
yeah.
I'm gonna
And I
go
feel like you
ahead.
have to. My bad. I just want to say something. Yeah, I feel like the most important thing when you're starting up doing breaks is you have to learn your community, what your community likes.
Right.
Because keep in mind, people don't just buy anything. You have to see what your community likes ripping, and that's what you focus on. And that's the reason why I've been doing a lot of Futera, because I know that I have buyers for Futera, and I know people that are in my stream that like the product.
Right. Know your clientele before you proceed. That's the best advice I can
Exactly.
give.
Yeah.
So to end that part, we're gonna go ahead and I want you to, if you have it with you, it's time to flex that PC and see what you got for the show today.
Where my PC is sadly it's being graded, but I'll show you some of the cards that I have because my better cards. are pretty much getting graded at the moment.
I thought you had
But
all
we
this
can.
ready.
I didn't. I didn't. Honestly, I did forget about this part. I'll show the some of the bigger hits.
Let's see a couple of them. That way, if you're on a future episode, you got more heat to show off.
Yeah. So let's start off with
The Rivaldo
Rivaldo
auto. That is
on
such
car
a
auto,
that is such a
and
sick
it's a
card.
one of one.
That is that is sick. I
It's
like
probably gonna
that
be a
one.
lot of Futera. This is my first one of one. It was pulled by Stuff. I bought a Percy of Futera the release date, and we got Balde on car auto, and he's one of one as well.
Sheesh.
And it's probably my favorite card that I have besides the Endrick. And it's a Cristiano Ronaldo training worn
That is
out of
that's a cool
15.
PC. I'll have to say that's a cool little flex you had.
And this is the nice thing about Putera is like you get a date and you get everything that that happened and with these. And I searched it up and he used this for a training before a Classico game in 2017.
See, and that's what I love about it because they tell you the exact moments of those usage and stuff.
Yeah.
So let
This
me
is nothing crazy. I'm just gonna show this one, the last one. This is nothing crazy, but this is my first slot,
Copa.
and it's an Android 9.
My so for me, I think Copa has been my personal favorite set that I ever got to be a part of because I hit a Maradona auto
Mm,
off of Copa, which and I apologize to all the viewers out there. I've never been a huge Argentina fan, never been a huge Messi fan, so I apologize. But Maradona,
W's in the chat. W's in the chat.
Maradona is and Crespo. I think were the only Argentinians that I absolutely loved watching play, especially when it was Maradona versus Balarama. Best. I mean,
Mhm.
I couldn't imagine any better of a matchup. Me personally, and everybody's entitled to their own opinion. I really don't care. It's mine, so take that. but here's my flex. Obviously, with the win and the one that scored the first goal, I have to flex this one right here. It's out of 10 James with a patch auto,
And it's so
and
nice.
this is a sick one because this was actually my first. I've been chasing an auto of his and breaks for so long that if I were to say the number, my wife would probably kill me and you wouldn't see an episode two. But my friend Whip, which if no one knows who he is, Whip pulls. You gotta hit him up because that guy has some awesome things and huge heart and everything. He hooks up anybody and supports anybody, and just he loves to be a part of that. And then here's my two Futera cards. I got another Hamas one with his game worn Real Madrid kit,
That is nice.
and then
See,
abs
Futera in the house.
Futera in the house because here's my favorite one that a Futera is gold frame Lucho out of four of four
That's nice.
actually. That when I hit that gold
Bookend.
frame, whew, I was stoked. I was so happy. But
Yeah, nah, that's a sick collection.
so that's kind of like how I want to lay out my show and everything. I want everybody that I bring on that I want them to show off what they got. They have to show off what they got because everybody loves to see cool cars, and I think it's a cool opportunity to flex that choice. So now let's go to the final part of our segment, which is the break itself. So I got a couple scenario questions for you, and then I got a game question
Okay,
for you. So we're gonna go through
let's
these.
do it.
You're gonna try to answer them as quick as you can, and we're gonna do the scenarios first, and then we're gonna do the goat bracket. All right. So would you rather buy into breaks or buy singles or buy a Percy, and why?
I definitely. That's a hard one. I mean, like I said, for me, it's gonna be Percy's because I'm a DJing, and I like to just pack my own cards and have the feeling that's it. I packed it on myself, so I'm a DJ, so I'm gonna say Percy's.
Okay, I'll give you that one. For me, I think singles and breaks are the ways that I usually like to go now. Mostly singles here lately. It's just easier. I think I've dropped too much in breaks and lost too much.
No,
All
I
right,
can relate. Trust me.
scenario question. You ready? All right, you're
Hmm.
given a choice of two teams. Team one has the best striker in the world, but the crappiest defense ever known to man. Team two has the best defense in the world, but the offense can only score one time out of every 20 attempts. Which team would you take?
Gonna get scored on, so that means that you're eventually gonna take 20 shots. If you take 20 shots, you score one, and you have the best defense, then you're gonna win, right?
You tell
So
me
I would.
this is your perspective.
I mean, me personally, because I'm a forward, I would 100% pick. I was scoring. I have the crappiest defense, but I have the best attack, so that means I can score as many goals as I want. So I'll go with the attack. If I can outscore you, I'm gonna win.
Okay, okay. Well, if this is uploaded to YouTube, which it should be, and I'll post the link and everything, I want people to comment and see if they agree or disagree
Yeah.
with that logic. That'd be a fun
Very
one.
good question. Though. Very good question.
Thank you, thank you. So, all right, you ready for this other one? Okay, next
Let's
scenario
go.
question. You are given an opportunity to own a rookie card of any player from any generation. Who would it be and why?
I mean, if we were talking about what I like, it would be Cristiano Ronaldo. And if we're talking about what's probably gonna make the most money, it's probably gonna be Messi.
But which card would
But
you pick? Any
Ronaldo,
rookie,
I
any
mean,
generation.
Ronaldo any day of the week. Any day. Yeah, I
Okay.
don't even if you put all the rookie cards in one table and Ronaldo's there, I'm picking Ronaldo without
That
looking at anybody else.
that's insane. I mean, you had opportunities for a Pele rookie, Maradona rookie. I mean, you could even say
Maybe like I
Lionel
said,
rookie. All I care.
maybe because like I said, I'm not doing this for the money. I'm doing this for the enjoyment. So
Right.
having a Ronaldo card for me is worth more than the money that I'm gonna get at selling a Pele and Maradona card.
That's true. All right, I got another really good one. You ready? Would you
Yeah.
rather have tickets to the World Cup Championship and sit anywhere you want, but you have to give up your card collection, or would you rather be given the Ultimate Grail card and forfeit the tickets to the World Cup Championship?
Wait, wait, wait. Can you repeat that? Sorry, my stream was lagging.
Oh man. Okay. Would you rather
Sorry,
have?
sorry.
You're good. Would you rather have tickets to the World Cup, the championship, sit anywhere
Hmm.
you want, okay? But you have to give up your
Okay.
card collecting. You have to give that all up. All right. Or would you rather someone give you the ultimate Grail card of them all, but you have to forfeit the World Cup championship tickets?
That's easy.
Oh, do tell.
I would think so. Yeah, because uh, I think I would take the card, the grill card, because I can go to another World Cup in a few years.
Oh, you're pulling that one. You're pulling this any scenario, but the World Cup's in different places every 4 years, so
Eh, eh, It's
this
gonna
is
be in Spain and Portugal the next 4 years. That would be more lovely than the U.S., which I've been to the whole U.S. So for me, that's easy because I've already been to, and my country is nowhere near guaranteed to be in the World Cup or even reach in the final. So yes, it would be nice to
okay.
go see two teams that I know nothing about. But when it comes to international teams, I support Portugal because of Cristiano. I like Brazil. Is my main team that I support. I like all the Latin teams because I'm Latin. But at the end of the day, there's not a team that I would say I would do everything to go see.
Right. Okay.
I mean, if it's Portugal, if you guarantee me that the final is going to be Portugal and Argentina, I would 100% take the final.
All right. All right. So now I got the final activity and then a pop quiz question, and then we'll end it. So this
Okay.
is called Chasing the Goat. I got 16 players. They're all paired up, and you're gonna pick the better one out of the two. And
Okay.
Whoever's left at the very end is your goat. All right. So you ready? Pele or Maradona?
Pele.
Okay. Neymar or Holland?
Neymar.
All right. John Cruyff or Mbappe?
You said Johan Cruyff
Yeah.
or Mbappe?
Yeah.
Mbappe.
Okay. Franz Beckenbauer or Zizou?
Zizou.
Ooh. All right. R9 or Messi?
I mean, I would take R9 in a heartbeat, but let's be honest, Messi.
Oh, okay, okay. Ronaldinho or Zola? Gianfranco Sola. That one. I know there's a couple, I just realized.
What was that? Sorry.
Gianfranco Zola or Ronaldinho?
Ronaldinho.
Okay. Cristiano Ronaldo, or should I even say the second name?
Why not? Let's
Diego
hear it.
Forlan.
I mean, I don't even have to be a Ronaldo fan to be able to answer that.
And then I had to do this one. Radamal Falcao or Valderrama?
Valderrama for me.
El Pibe.
Love Falcao. I love El Tigre, but Valderrama.
El Pibe. All right, ready for the next round?
Let's go.
Pele or Neymar?
I mean, I never saw Pele play, so my opinion, my eyes, from what I've seen, I'm gonna take Neymar because I've seen Neymar play. I've never seen Pele play.
All right, now the battle of the Frenchmen. Mbappe or Zizou?
Zizou.
Okay. Messi or Ronaldinho?
I mean, I don't want to get cooked, so I have to pick Messi.
Oh man,
I would love to say
you're pleasing
Ronaldinho
too
because
many people here.
as a personal like for me it would be. I mean, we're doing my bracket, so F. But I'll still take Messi. I've
Okay,
seen Messi
CR7 or El Pibe?
CR7.
Nah, I'm
Sorry,
disappointed on
sorry,
that
El
one.
Pibe.
Neymar or Zizou?
Zizou.
Ooh, okay. Messi or Cristiano?
Cristiano.
All right. Now for the championship, Zizou versus Cristiano. Who do you take?
None. Both are my goats.
You gotta pick one.
See, the reason why I say that is because I started watching football because of Zizou.
Oh yeah, the famous headbutt.
Yeah, but
Best
then
game ever
Cristiano
watched.
Ronaldo. I'm just gonna say Cristiano. I would love to say Zidane because for me, both of them, uh, you know, made the reason why I love the sport so much. Zizou at his time and Cristiano. I mean, is the reason why I, started. I have that hungry mentality.
Right. Well, I'm glad you played that game. It's gonna be fun doing it with other people to see who their real goat is. So it's a fun opportunity I always like to do. So to end it all, I got a little bit of a pop quiz, and it is what club is known as Los Blancos?
'Cause, I mean, he would be in Real Madrid, right?
Okay, I just had to make sure. I had to ask because you say you're the big Real fan, so if it's true, you would know the nickname. So congratulations, the fact checks out. But hey, BR7, thank you so
Pause.
much.
Oh no, I mean, it's lagging. I don't know if it's on my end.
It froze with like the
Can you hear
perfect
me?
picture. Yeah, I can hear you good.
Oh
Can you hear
no.
me? Oh no! There we go. It's still good. Hey,
Okay.
we're good.
I was about to say, not at the end, please.
Right at the very end. And so everybody that's watching this, you got to see a little bit of a technical difficulty. But hey, thank you so much for hopping on and being the first guest on it. I know our time zone is
No,
completely different. It's midnight here at my house. You're 2 hours behind me, and just thank you so much. I'll make sure that you're tagged in all this, and for all the viewers out there
no,
listening, thank y'all for tuning in, and hopefully y'all got something fun out of this, and look forward towards the next episode. So you want to shout out any?
100%, man. Thanks for having me. And I mean, I just want to shout out you mainly because, like I said, you were one of the first persons that jumped into my stream as well. and I felt like you helped me with whatever you could. And I really appreciate you giving me the opportunity as a nobody in the community to be able to be here and speak about the community and other things. So I really want to thank you for that.
Of course, you're my buddy, so just thank you so much, and I'm glad that we got to build a friendship from this community. So I'm gonna go ahead and kick us out, and we're done. Everybody out there, y'all
Yes,
have a
sir.
nice evening.
Y'all take care. Now smile for the camera because I gotta take a screenshot for the